I'm a personal trainer and a powerlifter. Maybe you're focusing on the wrong parts of your health.
At these bigger gyms that I was at, first up is a kettlebell over my head and marching in place.
Not care about what people think and just do you.
I still to this day have gym anxiety.
Let's talk about the bizarre trend of pretending that obesity and fitness belong in the same sentence. We're going to look at a handful of viral clips from creators who are trying very hard to convince you that you can stay obese and still call it fitness. Let's start.
My name is Carrie. I'm a personal trainer and a powerlifter who lives 4 days a week, and this is what my body looks like. Which means that when I post my workouts on social media, most people assume I'm just starting my fitness journey. I've been working as a fitness professional for 5 years now, and that part still rubs me the wrong way. Because there are so many people in larger bodies moving their bodies regularly and accomplishing their goals in the gym, and they'll always be seen as a beginner because the size of their body hasn't dramatically changed. But hey, maybe if I keep showing up on your timeline, you'll recognize that someone's size does not actually determine their fitness level.
So you're a personal trainer and a powerlifter who trains 4 days a week, and this is what your body looks like? You say that like it's supposed to be some kind of revelation, but it's actually the most common excuse we hear from the body positivity crowd. You stand there presenting a body that is visibly carrying too much fat, and then act shocked that people assume you're a beginner. And how could they not? In a world where fitness is supposed to mean visible progress, strength, and health, the signals your body sends are the opposite. Lifting heavy is cool, but if the diet is ultra-processed junk and the gut is inflamed, you're building strength on top of dysfunction. Because 5 years into being a fitness professional and still having a body composition that screams beginner is a sign something fundamental is off. Fasting, prioritizing animal protein, cutting ultra-processed foods is where transformation happens. I really think that trainers are supposed to embody the lifestyle, not just preach it. Now, don't get me wrong, if you were branding yourself purely as a powerlifter, I'd get it. Being heavier can help with stability and force production. But you're also calling yourself a fitness trainer. And fitness isn't about just hitting a heavy squat PR. Clients come to you to look and feel better, to lose fat and build muscle. So you can absolutely be strong in a larger body, but being obese is not compatible with optimal health. Strength and fitness are not just about how much weight you can deadlift. That's why body composition does matter. If you truly care about helping people in the gym, stop normalizing mediocrity, because the goal of fitness is not to stay the same.
But how is the body still large though? Not trying to be funny, but calories in versus calories out? I know powerlifters need to consume more because they lift heavier. But shouldn't the body at least be toned? Genuinely curious, please educate me.
This is why fitness is 70% diet, 30% exercise, lifting.
My trainer should look like my goals.
Personal trainer. In a world where you can be anything, be kind.
And that's exactly the kind of mental gymnastics we see too often, hiding behind titles like powerlifter to justify staying overweight. However, whether you're lifting heavy or not, excess fat still carries massive health risks. Let's watch her follow up.
1 week ago today, I went viral on accident for saying this is what my body looks like as a personal trainer and a power lifter. And baby, Lord, there's been a lot of comments, a lot of questions, and I'm going to choose which ones I want to answer and which ones are not worth my time. I did get the question the other day, though, how do you balance body positivity with also being aware of obesity-related health risks? I think we all know I'm not a doctor, but what I can tell you is that any obesity-related health risk can be a health risk for anyone in any body size.
So anyone can have obesity-related health risks at any size? Technically, yes. A thin person can be metabolically unhealthy. But statistically, that's the exception, not the rule.
So while that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be conscious of our health, it does mean that we don't really have to chase a number. The size of my jeans is not actually going to determine my health, but what will are the habits that I've created. Working out regularly, feeding my body the things that it likes, sleep, not having a lot of stress in my life, as much as, we can control that. I'm never telling anyone to ignore their health. What I'm telling you is maybe you're focusing on the wrong parts of your health. That's all.
You talk about habits, workouts, sleep, stress, but notice how you conveniently leave out the most important habit, the diet. You can train 4 days a week and sleep 8 hours, but if your meals are built on sugar and ultra-processed garbage, you're still damaging your gut and wrecking your insulin sensitivity. Nutrition should be the foundation. And yes, feeding your body the things it likes sounds cute, but the body likes dopamine hits too. That doesn't mean they're good for it. The most powerful health habit you can build is mastering what's on your plate. And how can you say that maybe we're focusing on the wrong parts of health when excess fat is literally the one with the most evidence behind it? Visceral fat isn't just sitting there, it's actively secreting inflammatory molecules, disrupting hormones, and increasing disease risk.
Just goes to show people only care about thinness and not strength and health.
Next, we have not-so-wrong gym mindset. But again,
Why did I switch from a bigger gym to a smaller gym as a plus-size person? At these bigger gyms that I was at, I could definitely tell that I was not 100% comfortable. Because guaranteed at the time that I would be going, it would be jam-packed. And I felt myself being very nervous to be in that space. Mentally, I was kind of like building a wall, like, is that person looking at me? Is that person looking at me? Oh my God, if they're looking at me, like, I need to move.
you were uncomfortable because the gym was crowded, but it's also that you are uncomfortable with is your own body. You're obese. You know it. And you're projecting that insecurity onto the environment. Fitness should not be hiding in corners. It's about showing up, doing the work, and improving your body so that your confidence doesn't depend on the size of the room. I think if you were truly focused on health, you'd be thinking about what you're lifting, how your diet is impacting your fat loss, not checking if some stranger is silently judging your body. Feeling anxious about others is a mindset problem created by excess fat. I want to say, so it will get better, but you are getting bigger month by month. Imagine if your energy was put into mastering compound lifts or tracking macros instead of building invisible walls in your mind.
And even when I would go at like 12, 1 o'clock, there would still be so many people there. And you want to know what? We all pay for the same damn membership, so that's 100% valid. But still, I could not shake the feeling of just being so nervous and so anxious about who's watching at me, who's looking at me. It was just very uncomfortable. Now, I literally go to the gym that is 5 minutes up the block. There is never a single soul in there. The gym is pretty small, but it has all the high-tech gear that I absolutely love. The only person I ever see in there is the owner, and he's very rarely ever there. And it's open 24 hours. All I have to do is a little key fob and it lets me right in. The only time that I have driven by and I've actually seen people in there is at like 8 o'clock in the morning or 7, or like when people do get out of work. And the max amount of people I've seen there, 4, not even.
So you found an empty gym where no one sees you. That's a nice way to avoid confronting the consequences of being overweight. Hiding in a private 24-hour gym doesn't make you fit, it makes you comfortable.
And I love that because I was not so self-conscious about looking around, who's seeing me, who's doing this, who's doing that. And also, for the people that I did see when I was there, they were so friendly. Like, they would come up to you and help you, or they would just have a casual conversation with you. And when I was in the bigger gym, it's kind of like no one speaks to each other. And like, if you're on my machine, I'm going to give you dirty looks for the next 20 minutes. Or if your form is wrong, they're going to look at you and go, she can figure that out on her own. But it wasn't that at all at this gym. And the owner gives free advice, free workouts, free personal training. I have nothing bad to say about this gym, and I'm very happy I switched over to a smaller gym. Yes, it is a little bit more pricey. Instead of going to like a place like Planet Fitness where it's $10, I pay $49.99 a month for a small gym that has better equipment, and I'm alone. Nothing gets better than that.
Free advice is good, but is useless if it isn't followed with action. If the people in the small gym are walking the walk, why isn't that you? And you casually throw out the price comparison. $10 at Planet Fitness versus $50 at your exclusive gym. As if paying more somehow validates your choices. You can lift in a crowded gym for $10 and achieve more than you ever will hiding alone in a small, expensive space. I'm all for people finding spaces where they feel confident, but when comfort becomes the goal instead of progress, you're already setting yourself up to fail. And speaking of doing the bare minimum, let's see what happens when that same mindset carries over into her actual workouts.
Let's do a core workout that is mostly standing as a plus-size baddie. For all of these workouts, my main goal is to keep my core nice and tight. First up is a kettlebell over my head and marching in place.
Watching this, it's hard to even call it a workout. She barely looks like she's breaking a sweat. There is more core engagement in any other exercise that you do. If you're not challenging your muscles with real resistance, you're not building strength. You're just waving a dumbbell around in an expensive gym.
Marching in place, I'm going to do 30 steps and do that 4 times. Next up is around the world. I do it 10 in one direction, then I switch to the other way, and I do that 4 times. I know some of these exercises look silly, but trust me, you're going to feel it in your obliques. This next one is just really keeping my core engaged. I do each side 10 times, and I'm going to do 4 rounds of each. Now, instead of having the kettlebell over my head, I'm going to bring it down like I'm doing a mini crunch and bring my opposite leg up. These are my favorites. I don't know why I love them, but I feel them everywhere. I do 10 on each side, and I do that for 4 rounds. And my last part is just crunches. I don't like to be directly on the ground, so I grabbed a ball, and I'm going to do 10 crunches, and I'm going to do those for 4 rounds. Making sure to keep breathing and my core nice and tight.
She even admits this looks silly. If her goal is fat loss or a tighter core, waving one kettlebell in circles isn't going to cut it. Compound lifts like squats, deadlifts, presses, and rows actually build strength and help with fat burning, something she seems to completely ignore. She says she loves the mini crunch move, and it's obvious why. She's barely moving. She doesn't struggle. She doesn't even seem tired. The only thing this is doing is wasting time that could be spent lifting heavier, compound movements, and actually stimulating muscle growth, which in turn would boost metabolism and help with fat loss. So she's in a fancy gym, using one measly kettlebell, barely moving, and calling it a workout. Watching this, it's clear she's prioritizing the appearance of exercising over actual fitness.
I feel like my belly gets in the way of being able to do the full movement, and I don't really feel it. I try to tense my core, but it's so out of service, LMAO.
There are many ways to lose weight, but also make money. You will get what I mean over the next 2 videos. Let's see.
To everyone that's battling the idea of starting something new in your health journey, maybe you're a larger body like mine and people judge you and they ridicule you for being authentic and wanting more for yourself. Take this as a message that you need to start today, not care about what people think and just do you.
Classic motivational speech. Start today. Ignore the haters. Just do you. Let's cut through the bullshit here. You're trying to sell a mini trampoline as a weight loss solution, and that's laughable because it's so ineffective. You say you want more for yourself, but wanting and doing the right things are not the same. Fat loss is about energy balance. A trampoline might burn 100 to 150 calories in 30 minutes, barely a dent in the 3,500 calorie deficit needed to lose a single pound of fat. A brisk walk can do just as much, and it's far safer and more sustainable. Things like these keep people stuck. You don't need a trampoline to lose weight, but discipline, a protein-heavy diet, fasting windows, compound lifts, and consistent movement. Walk for 45 minutes a day, clean up your nutrition, and you'll make more progress in a month than a year of bouncing on overpriced springs.
Honey, go by this motto. What people think of you is none of your business. They are not feeding you. They're not taking care of you. They are not housing you. They're not being intimate with you, so it doesn't matter what they say.
And it's not just one person doing this. This trend is spreading. Here's another creator telling the same story, but this time with a sales pitch attached.
As someone that was once 390 pounds, I can't tell you the amount of times I would be embarrassed going to the gym starting out and seeing that a lot of the equipment only held up to 250 pounds. I still to this day have gym anxiety because of that, which is why I've probably been paying for a gym membership and haven't went yet. That's why I was so excited when I was sent this and I saw that this went up to 550 pounds because I know how much anxiety can hold us back from wanting to change our health. A couple benefits that I've seen from this is supposed to help with lymphatic drainage. These type of exercises are also easier for your joints. Honestly, it's going to be easier to do squats, and we know what squats can do for the booty. I cannot wait to share this rebounding journey with you, so I hope you'll follow along. And as well, if you want to grab yours, they are available on TikTok Shop above my name.
Anxiety isn't an excuse to avoid the one thing that actually changes your body: consistent, challenging exercise paired with a proper diet. And now, instead of addressing that issue, you're selling people the fantasy that a trampoline will fix it. You hype it up because it holds 550 pounds, but just because something can hold your weight doesn't mean it will change your weight. So while bouncing might feel gentle on the joints, it's also gentle on your calorie burn. And the big reveal, this was never about health. It's about selling you something. That's the real reason for this video. They're trying to make money off your desperation. And that's the common thread across all of this content. People selling comfort instead of results.
My doctor and my chiropractor have always told me to avoid trampolines because of my back problems. I feel comfortable and accepted in the gym.
Obesity is linked to heart disease and many cancers. You can fix that by creating a calorie deficit, by prioritizing protein, walking daily, by fasting, by healing your gut microbiome, and lifting weights to build muscle and improve metabolic health. Comfort doesn't make you stronger, and pretending obesity is just another body type doesn't make it any less deadly. Thanks for watching.